Good afternoon, Vallejo. You're watching VCAP, your hometown television station. This is Community Forum, and I am your host, Maria Bitagon. You can see our show on Channel 27 at Comcast or Channel 99 at AT&T Uverse. We are recorded, and please watch this, on Thursdays and Sundays at 6:30 p.m. I would like to actually welcome my guest today. I have been running after him for the longest time, but finally I caught him, and now he's here. I would like to introduce you to the principal of Bethel High School. Our principal is Dr. Ramon Cusi.
Hello, everybody.
Yes. Please tell us about your background in education, professional, educational, and if you wish, personal.
Oh, well, this is my 26th year in education. I started as a teacher and a football and a baseball coach, and then I was a history teacher, and then shortly thereafter I became an assistant principal, and then after becoming assistant principal for the next 15 years I became a site principal, both at the elementary and the middle school, and this is my first year in the high school as a high school principal. Okay. Personally, I've been married for 15 plus years, actually 17 years now. And we have two children, a 14 and a 16-year-old, who are also both in high school. Wow. So it's very exciting to be at the high school and also to experience my own two children in high school as well. The last thing is my wife's a science teacher. So being a teacher and an administrator, we definitely have some lively conversations.
Very lively.
Most definitely.
So what universities did you attend?
Well, I completed my undergraduate degree at University of California, Berkeley. Wow. I did a master's degree at New York University, and I finished my doctoral degree, doctor of education, at University of California, Irvine and UCLA. It was under the teacher's use of technology in the classroom, and I finished that in 2007.
I am so proud that you choose to come to Vallejo. Why did you do that?
Oh, well, I had a lot of family connections. I was brought up in the East Bay. I lived over by the Concord Pleasant Hill area for 20 years of my life. I went through high school there, played a lot of sports, traveled all through Vallejo for the activities that happened here. Also had a lot of friends and stayed here in Vallejo as well. One of the other big things is that there's a really nice community here that I was part of. That spread out. I did have family friends that lived in the Vallejo area for quite some time and still do. And now I've just been a part of a community where this is something where I could pay it forward.
Well, with your background in both elementary and secondary education, why have you chosen to come to Bethel High School? Why not a private or chartered school?
Well, thanks for asking that question. I think the first thing I need to share with you is that I am a product of the public schools. My wife is a product of the public schools, and so are our children. We truly believe in public school education. We believe that's the best place to get an education because it's a comprehensive high school. And they have the appropriate credentials as well as a variety of other things that most charter and private schools don't have. Great. So I can share with you, I'm a big fan of the private schools. The public schools, not the private schools. I'm not a big fan there, but I do support all the programs from education.
Yes.
That's something that I can say that I support everything. However, I've had my best experiences as well as my own personal experiences in a public education setting.
Thank you so much. As Bethel's instructional leader, what would you like to implement? And with a follow-through question, what are your priorities? And what community service work are you most interested in and proud of? Wow. That's a whole bunch of things altogether.
That's a whole bunch of questions there.
But, let's start with Bethel as an instructional leader. What would you like to implement?
Well, I'll tell you, one of the things being an instructional leader is making sure that all of our students are college and career ready. Now that doesn't mean college or career ready. That means college and career ready. What I specifically mean by that is that students can have the skills that may not necessarily be ready to go to college, but really to start their career, or vice versa. They may be able to start their college career before they get into their career for the rest of their life. I think the idea is making sure that they have the appropriate skills to be successful in life is the key component of our students' success. One of the things that I've been working on is asking students the question of not what do you want to do, but what problem do you want to solve in your life? What problem do you want to solve in our community? And then when they share that problem they want to solve, then that turns around and allows them to really say, okay, this is the thing that I want to do. This is the problem I want to solve. I'll get into these careers to make sure I solve this problem. For example, myself is that I really truly believed that I could make a difference in making sure that all of our students are contributors to society, not detriments. So that's why I got into education. It's not necessarily just to say, oh, these kids are great and getting their A's, but making sure that they can survive in life after school and they can be that appropriate adult and be a contributor to our society. That's a very important thing.
So, based on that, what are your priorities? And, you know, is it reflected in your community service work or in anything that you're interested in? Is it your priorities, or how would you like to answer that question?
Well, I think the main priorities that I have is making sure that the education and the curriculum have the rigor that students need to have.
Okay.
One of the things is that just going and doing worksheets or making sure that they repeat what the teacher says is one thing, but making sure that they comprehend, they understand, they can apply it to their experiences in the future, and they can use that as a strong foundation is really the core belief that I have in regards to making sure that there's the appropriate rigor. Now, to get that rigor, one of the things I really believe in is appropriate collaboration, and making sure that there's a professional collaboration among the teachers and educators to make sure that they work together. They analyze the data that they accumulate, they discuss that, they make sure that they're providing the best education for those students and getting the appropriate feedback from them. So there's a lot of things that are come into place when in terms of becoming an instructional leader. I really, really would like to pursue making sure that our teachers have all the tools they need and the strategies to be successful with their students.
So that must be the community service work you are most interested in and proud of.
Well, most definitely. And there's one other big thing that I was thinking about. It's making sure that students are engaged.
Yes.
And also making sure that parents are engaged. But we can talk about that later. What I mean about students is that sometimes students only come to school because of the extracurricular activities that they want to participate in.
Okay.
Or certain classes that they have.
Okay.
Be it an elective class, be it an English class, being at the physical education class, or the after-school programs, from sports to clubs to other activities and being part of leadership. We really need to make sure that our students are engaged in the school. If they are engaged, they will come. If they're not engaged, they don't come. They don't see the value. And one of the key things is making sure that they understand more than just the value of education, but how they need to socialize, how they need to make sure that they can be contributors to society is really important, and socialization is a key.
Okay, I'm very impressed with your goals. So, you know, it's not that everything is going to turn out bright and successful and everything. Sometimes some things happen which you don't expect. So do you have any potential challenge in the accomplishment of your goals?
Yeah, you know, I think one of the first things that I've encountered is that sometimes there's this perception that Vallejo has, not only of outsiders having perceptions of Vallejo, but people of Vallejo having perceptions of themselves.
Yes.
And one of the things is you know, the feeling of a negative perception, not being the top school, not necessarily being the best quality education, not necessarily being the safest town. And I think one of the things I'd like to do is make sure that we dispel that obstacle. One of the things that I do is I have an open school. Of course, you have to have a pass and a visitor's badge to get onto campus, but I've invited many staff members, many district officials, as well as our school board, as well as our councilmen. Anybody is invited to come and take a look at our school. And one of the things I do to them is as we sit down and students are being excused during passing period, I say, hey, take a look at our school.
With pride?
There's nothing going on. There's no gangs or violence or anything above and beyond what other schools have. Of course, we have students that have altercations. Of course, we have students that make some poor choices. But that's a very, very small portion compared to all the great things that are happening at our school. And that's the reason why we have almost 1,600 kids at our school, because they truly believe all the great things that are happening here. And we have so many award-winning programs, in our extracurricular activities, we have our band, our color guard, our drum line, first place awards. We have, in fact, 4 of our teams have taken the championship of our league. It's boys basketball, girls tennis, girls volleyball, and wrestling. So I just received all the banners that we're getting a place to post up in our gym. So a variety of things are happening at Jesse Bethel, and we're turning a lot of heads.
You might run out of space.
Well, we'll just have to go on the other wall.
Okay. So this is something that I always have been looking. I've been looking at this for the longest time. This question that I'm looking for the answer for this question I'm about to pose to you, because it's very important to me. So how important is parent participation and support in the high school system and its success?
Oh, it is the key component. I think one of the things that people get confused about is many people think in the school setting our students are our customers, but really it's our parents that are our customers that are sending their kids to our schools, because they're the ones that have the choice. And one of the things is that it is my goal not only to get parents engaged, it's getting them invested in our school. That is the key component of getting them invested. Now, I'm not saying money necessarily. I'm talking about their time, investing their spirit in our school and believing in the spirit of our school, and literally just believing in our school. Parents need to get engaged. In fact, we have something coming up on March 20th. On March 20th, we have our check-in before break from approximately 5 to 7 p.m. where all of our teachers will be here, and we'll be giving out third quarter grades to all parents that show up before we mail them, and they could look at their students' grades and then walk into the gym and actually speak with any one of their teachers and ask them specific questions about why they're earning the grade that they're earning right then and there. So it's a really important thing. March 20th, from 5 to 7 p.m. starting in our student union, ending in our gym.
Okay. Let me get lighter on the question.
Okay.
And I want you to enjoy, because I want you to enjoy your visit to VCAT. Okay, so...
Well, I always do. I always enjoy my visit here.
Okay. So what are some of your outside interests and hobbies? On the lighter side, what does your family enjoy doing?
Well, wow. My family loves the beach and loves the sand. Okay. So we can go to Tahoe, onto the beach in there, or we can go to any of the coastline, up and down from Monterey to Pismo Beach to Los Angeles, all the way here to San Francisco Ocean Beach. Our family definitely loves that. We are definitely a coastal family, and we love going there. A lot of the activities, my older daughter's a cheerleader, and she's been cheering since middle school. And she's involved in a lot of those things where she gets thrown up in the air. I think that's called a flyer. It kind of scares me. But she has a lot of fun doing it. My other daughter is part of a soccer organization called Davis Legacy, which is a clubs team. And she also is involved in our high school for cross country and track. So I'm definitely, most of my hobbies revolve around high schools. So it makes me gives me the opportunity not only to enjoy them here at work, but also at home.
Okay, so now it's your opportunity. So the president has the State of the Union. The mayor has the state of the city. How about the state of the school? Could you please address to your student constituent and tell them or request them or involve them or get them engaged and invested, as you have said, and say to them, come on over and help me? And could you please help me accomplish all of these things so that we can do it together?
Okay, so yes. I guess it's my turn to go ahead and share that. As the new principal of Jesse Bethel High School, it is my goal to make sure all students are college and career ready. I can't do that by myself. I need our teachers, our support staff, our entire district, including our community, our parents to get engaged and invested in our school to ensure that each one of these students contributes to our society in the future. That is a key component. And how we can do that is by working together, because I cannot do that alone. The key thing is making sure that we believe that we can do these for our kids and they'll believe in us. And if that's all works out together, we will be a very successful community. And then when people say where you're from, we'll be very proud to say that we are from Vallejo City.
How do you feel about being the principal of Jesse Bethel High School? And Jesse Bethel High School is in a very highly diverse city. How do you feel about that?
Oh, I feel very excited. Let me share with you. I'm the first person, almost the first person to get here after our custodian, and I'm usually the last person to leave. It's hard to. I get so excited to get here, and I get so sad when I have to go. This is a great community. This is someplace that I love being part of, and hopefully for time to come, and for a very long time, I can be here.
Thank you very much for coming, Dr. Cusi. And please, if there is anything that VCAT can do for you in order to serve our community, please don't hesitate with Jackie, with Sherry, and when our other person comes back, CP, we call her CP, and because this particular organization, VCAT, is run mostly by volunteers. So we need your help also. Thank you.
Without a doubt. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you for coming.